here is this 52-inch NuTone Slimline ceiling fan. This was a curb find. I got this a week ago, and finally getting around to hanging it and installing it. This is at my friend's house. Legs are shaking because you're walking on the floor above. I could do this over at my house, but we had it over here for testing. I don't know when the next time it'll be, but I'll put this fan up and use it, if I'm even going to keep this fan, because I don't like it nearly as much as I thought I did. If it was a 36-inch, maybe I'd keep it, but this one's kind of rough. So now that I own one of these things, I've learned a bit more about them. They have a really steep blade pitch, as you can see. They don't go really fast, but they do move a good bit of air. A lot of the collectors, they seem to knock these, especially the 52-inch, which I will say the 52, it feels a bit on the sluggish side. The original capacitor was 4 microfarad. It's been upgraded to a 4.5 microfarad. The original one was bad, and I decided to upgrade anyway. Actually, it's 4.7, but so it does go a bit faster than what these normally do. And the worst part about it is the bearings in this thing are just shot. Bearings just make so much noise. One of the blades is warped. Brackets are fine, but one of them is warped. I think it's actually this far blade right here. Now, I'm pretty sure these were the replacement for their friction drive fans. These came out in the early 80s. I don't know of an exact year. I think the earliest one was 1981 or 82. This is the 84 model, late 84. So there's that. Some of the other things I had to do to it was, besides the capacitor, the pull chain switch was very dodgy, so I took that apart and oiled it, and there was rubber grommets on each one of these blades, and had to go around and remove those. They were all decayed and falling apart, and there was lots of blade sag. And there was these little rivets that went into the blade brackets to kind of center the that rubber isolator piece, and I had to knock all of those out of all 4 of the blade brackets. Another thing that I will eventually do is flip this switch upside down. When I had it apart, I did put it the wrong way around. There was also a piece right up in this area here, another rubber isolator that I had to remove. I unbolted the switch cup, cleaned that off, and then bolted the switch cup back on. It doesn't have any sort of locking position or anything, so it just kind of spins loosely like this, which I'm not too fond of. It's kind of a crappy fan, to be honest. I do like it, though. I love the looks of these. They're really cool. There's a light kit on there, kind of a dim bulb in there. And this tassel is original to the fan. This is a Moss light kit, so it'll fire up on low speed. It's not very fast. It does move some air. On medium, that's when the bearings start to make noise, and then on high speed, they just kind of scream. Say the low speed's a bit faster than like a 90s Hunter. The low speeds on these is normally a lot slower. This one's a bit more on the fast side since I have put a bigger capacitor in there. So it's a single speed motor. This is the same motor that's used on their early Proline models. The motor's made by a company in Hong Kong called Saffer. As well as the pull chain switch is also SAF branded. So here's the low speed. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to, you can just put Proline blades on one of these. Tassel's probably my favorite part of it, because I love the NuTone tassels for some reason. I'll definitely be keeping that one for if I get a veranda. I also did not get a mounting bracket for this. I have a NuTone bracket somewhere, I couldn't find it. So it's on the standard one, that's why the canopy looks all sorts of screwed up. It does move air on all 3 speeds. The low's not very powerful, but there is a bit more air movement on the medium speed. It performs pretty good on high speed. It could be a bit better. With how steep the blade pitch is, it doesn't spin really fast. It spins at a much more slower speed. But it's like the airflow's not just absolutely abysmal on it. It's a bit better than a lot of the fans that they make now. I'll say it's probably on par with just about any other 80s fan that was made during the same time that used a stamped motor like this. Yeah. Bearings are actually quiet for once. Do a reverse. It does reverse very smoothly. Here's what it looks like with the light off. And back into downdraft. This will technically count as to 0 to high. Besides the warped blade, I'd say this one's actually pretty well balanced, which is surprising because when this fan was tossed, it was still assembled. It still had all of its blades on. This was originally the light kit on this. It's original, but not at the same time. It had 3 of these, but it was kind of loose and falling apart, so I just converted it to a single light kit. I had to drill a hole and mount the pull chain at this odd angle, but it does work. So this will probably be the light kit that I keep with this fan. I'm pretty sure if I didn't mention that it was custom, you would probably think that it was a original light kit. It does look very like something that NuTone would have as an option for their fans. The finish is in okay condition. The blade brackets probably have the worst of it. So yeah. And here's spin down, which will probably be fairly quick. Mostly because the fan wasn't going that fast, and there's a steep blade pitch, and the bearings are kind of locked. I've never actually really seen any of these Slimlines growing up. I've seen verandas plenty of times. There was one fan that was at a zoo, and I'm thinking it was a Slimline like this, but a 42-inch version, maybe a 36-inch version. And I'm pretty sure it was brown and brass. It's kind of hard because it's so long ago, the memory is very fuzzy. But it was in the gift shop. They had 2 fans in the gift shop. They had one of those and a veranda. I thought it was a veranda of deluxe, but I'm pretty sure it's a veranda too, since there's another part of the building that has veranda 2s. So it was most likely a veranda too. But I'm pretty sure that one was a Slimline. Maybe it was like SMC Laguna or something, but it kind of had like a brown motor, switch cup. I think it had brass blade brackets. 4-blade. It was running on high speed. This happened so long ago that I don't really remember the fan. But yeah, both of those fans are long gone. So yeah, here's just this one. Thank you very much for watching, and keep it grease.